Hey guys, I was just making soap and it got me thinking that I don't ever really talk about my soaping very much. I guess because I just don't find it very exciting and I feel like there's a million other things that I can talk about, but I wanted to bring something up here. So I've been soaping now for a bit now and I'm not great at it. Okay, I'm okay. You know, I can make like functional, safe soap. But as far as like designing and like creating these really intricate designs and beautiful things, yeah, I don't do that. I have friends that do. Um, they're just super creative and like a lot of people will like draw their designs out ahead of time and then look at like volume of I need this volume of this color and this volume of that color, and then I need to pour this much and then layer it with this much, and that's not for me. And my soap, I can honestly tell you that I don't think once has it ever came out looking like I imagined it to. Never, never. When I go into it, I always have like an idea in my head of what I want it to look like, but it never ends up looking like that. Sometimes it looks better, sometimes it looks worse. And then I'll get people that'll say, I want to get into soaping, but I'm not going to be able to make it look like yours. Or I make my own soap, but it doesn't look like yours. And I always have to kind of laugh because it's funny how we always compare ourselves to other people. And I find it so odd that somebody would ever say that about my soap, because my soap is like nothing fancy, right? But if that's what's stopping you from trying it, like don't let that stop you, okay? To me, honestly, there's nothing more beautiful than like a really simple bar of soap, like a one-colored plain bar of soap. Beautiful. That's almost harder to make, like the perfectly uniform color, because it has to go through certain temperature changes at certain times, and like you can mess it up depending on if you try to rush it too far through certain phases, or if like the different processes and stuff are kind of rushed or too hot or too cold, it can affect the color. So a simple bar, uniform color, that's not easy to do. So I find that awesome. And when people make mistakes, we don't usually talk about it or share it. So go ahead and try it and make the mistakes. And here's the thing, even if it looks ugly, as long as it's safe to use and has gone through the process, the processes that it needs to do to make the sodium hydroxide, which I don't have in front of me, that's okay, the lye, to make that safe. As long as it's gone through that, it's perfectly safe for your skin. And it doesn't matter if the color went wonky or the texture's kind of weird. It doesn't matter. It's still soap. And where does all soap end up? Down the drain. Like, seriously, that's where it all goes, right? Down the drain. And it doesn't matter if it's, a bar you made yourself and it's plain Jane, or, looks wonky, or if it's like a $12 a bar, really intricate designed one. It does not matter. And you get really, really good at kind of flying by the seat of your pants and just kind of making something out of nothing work. Okay, so I can't like flip the camera on a video, but I'm going to show you what I mean. So I'm just going to try to bring you backwards like this. We're going to use this as an example back here. Okay, so this soap, the one that's still in the mold, you'll see that I don't think it's going to show very good on here like this, but it's like really textured on top, right? Like you can see it maybe where it's kind of like standing up almost. And guess what? It looks like I wanted it to do that, and I didn't want it to do that at all. I wanted it to be kind of a flatter design on top and then do stuff to it. But this is a new scent that I'm working with, a new fragrance, and all fragrances are different. Different brands, different fragrances. Can I help you, child?
Where's the notebook for the registration?
You'll have to wait till I'm done making this video. Okay, so this is a new scent that I'm trying, and I'm not going to show the brand or the scent or anything like that. But different ones that you use can behave differently, right? So this one particularly started to go to trace, which means accelerated quicker than I thought it was going to, which means it hardens up faster. Okay, so like I poured it into the mold, my one color, and then I wanted to do another color with it, and that was taking too long, and I was noticing it was like firming up. So it's like, oh my gosh, quick, what do? You just toss it in the mold as quick as you can just to get it in there. And it got really firm, and so I was like, you know what, we're just gonna work with it, and that's what we did. So then what did I do? I just took a spoon and started like playing with the top of it, making different designs and kind of taking advantage of that thicker texture and using it to my advantage to make more of like not a flat topped soap, but more of like a three-dimensional kind of coming up from that soap. I end up having to do that all the time when I biff something up, which is totally fine. You learn to work with it. Because the other thing is, like when I soap, I do goat's milk soap. And here's the thing with goat milk soap. There's your beautiful face. The thing with goat milk soap is it's like a different component all the time. Okay, so one breed of goat has a different butter fat, for instance, buttermilk content, different protein levels, different whatever. So when I'm using soap, it's never like the exact same molecularly, chemically, I don't know the right words every time, because it's not a robotic kind of a process. It's not a factory manufactured thing. It's straight from the girls to the ice cube that I use. So it's always different. And so you learn to wing it. And here's the other thing, that if you mess something up, what I do is, this is getting low, but these are shavings. And I have like a shaving bucket, which used to be fuller. But if I have something that just isn't turning out, if I don't like the consistency of the bar, or it didn't come out right, or, I mean, there's like an assortment of things that could have went wrong, because it does go wrong a lot. I just take a grater and you just grade that down, and you can use this for all different kinds of things. I save it. I waste nothing. I throw nothing away. Okay, because it's still a safe and good product. It's still soap. That's how I feel about that. So don't let anything stop you from trying it, because it's not a big scary thing. And be creative and try new things, and you might find out you love it. You might find out that you're really good at it. You might find out that you're really not that good at it, but you can still make a safe product yourself that you can feel good about knowing what's going into it for your family to use, which is what I personally really like, is that all of my soap has the same 4 ingredients every single batch of soap that I make. The only thing that ever varies is the fragrance oil that I use or the colorants. Otherwise, the soap is always the same.
My hair got in my eye.
Your hair got in your eye? That'll happen. So anyway, that's what I wanted to hop on, is just to encourage you to go ahead and try it. Find a recipe you like and experiment with different recipes. Like, don't make your own up. There is definitely a science to this. This is definitely like, I'm usually a really laid back person when it comes to a lot of things. Little of this, little of that, but not with soaping. Soaping is quite scientific, so you have to be careful. But try a lot of different recipes until you find one you like, and then just dive on into it. It gets addictive after a while though, so be prepared. But yeah, so I just wanted to come at you today to encourage you to learn to work with your mistakes, work with your oopses. Your oopses may turn out to be something really beautiful. So yeah. All right, guys, thanks.